So, all right, now let's move over to the AFC. And like I said, I'm going bold
Well,
with one of these divisions. You
I'm
gotta wait.
I'm very curious to see which division this is gonna be.
Well, it's the AFC East. I'm taking the Patriots now. With the AFC East, we're taking the Buffalo Bills. I mean, it's again their
Yeah.
division to lose. I mean, they have run this division for years, and it's going to continue. The Dolphins, there's a lot of turmoil going on over there. There's not a lot of good vibes going on over there right now. And I think, I mean, listen, if Tua could stay healthy, they're going to win some games. But I'm not high on the Dolphins going into this year. I think this could be it for Mike McDaniel. I was pretty high on Mike McDaniel the first couple of years, but yeah, it really has gone downhill. And again, not all of it is his fault because Tua's gotten hurt, but yeah, it's just vibes aren't very good. The Jets, look, they're in a transition period. I hope Aaron Glenn's the right guy. Watching the preseason, there's definitely things that they had to clean up in terms of the penalties. If they could stop that, they're heading in the right direction because they're always like one of the more penalized teams in the league. But they're going to be a different kind of team running the football with Justin Fields. Curious to see how that goes, and we'll see if he could turn the defense around because the defense took a massive step back from 2023. Because 2023 they were like a Super Bowl caliber defense, and then last year they just took a step back, and then Robert Saleh gets let go, and they weren't coached. They weren't coached, and Jeff Ulbrich, was in over his head going from the defensive coordinator to the head coach, and he just couldn't do it. And then for the Patriots, I do think the Patriots are going to be an improved team. I think they could definitely double their win total from last year. I like the Vrabel hiring. Drake May looked good last year, and they definitely have improved this team around them. They added some more weapons. They got Stephon Diggs. You draft Travion Henderson, so and the defense is usually good. They added a lot of pieces to that side of the ball this offseason. So I do think the Patriots will be improved, but I still think they are a little bit. They're a year or two away. I'd say a year away from truly competing in the AFC. And the AFC is just a gauntlet. So, I don't think they're winning the division. Now you got to compete in the wild card. I just think there's too many teams to compete with. So, I think they're at least a year away from really competing. Another good draft, another good free agency period, and then I think, we can have a conversation. I actually also wanted to bring this up, too, with the Patriots. Their former coach. Did you watch the UNC game the other night?
So bad. And when I say that is one of the worst college football games I've seen in a long time, I really mean it. It was so bad that Reese Davis and Kirk Herbstreit was giving his dog Peter the headset.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Because there was nothing remotely interesting about that fourth quarter. Did you see the stadium was like 90% empty with 10 minutes left in the game?
That's unbelievable.
Everybody was gone.
And it's amazing because I turned the game on. They go right down the field. On their first drive, and everybody's tweeting, "Oh man, this UNC is back, Coach Belichick, all that." And then it just went completely off the rails after that. And they changed quarterbacks. UNC.
And TCU opened the second half with that 75-yard touchdown run. It was UNC gave up almost 550 total yards.
I can't believe
defensively. That is just as embarrassing.
I can't believe
that. Now all of a sudden, so UNC's got the classic bye game coming up this weekend where they got they play the Charlotte 49ers out of the American Conference.
Right.
So if they lose to Charlotte, I mean, just pack it up, Bill. It's all over if they lose this game.
I know. It's just Belichick is out of football for a year, right? He's on all these different shows. Then he takes the job with UNC. It's like, all right, this is the first time in a couple of years we're seeing Bill Belichick coach a game of football, and that happens.
Yeah. It's got to be. I can't remember if it's the worst loss of his career, but it's definitely one of the worst. Yeah. It's awful.
Yeah.
I mean, when you lose by 34 your opening game, that's not very good.
Yeah.
And the fact that UNC got standalone Labor Day night prime time on ESPN and put up that result, that's not going to bode well for your future. So
Yeah. But you know what? I think
soul searching.
I think like a lot of things, we just got to let it play out because you also have now that doesn't mean that UNC is going to turn it around and go and make the college football playoff and win the national championship. No, but um, it's one game. It's one game. All right. Let's see how the season plays out. It's the same thing with Arch Manning. Everybody's off the Arch Manning train after his rough. Well, not debut, but like the rough opener against Ohio State. You're playing against the defending national champions, all right, in their home stadium, all right. Let's pump the brakes a little bit, everybody.
Right, and Julian Sayin, who's a 5-star recruit quarterback as well, that everybody kind of just overlooked, like well, he's there, but
yeah.
Everybody's like Arch. Everybody's talking about Arch Manning all week, and it's like great. I mean, I'm glad he actually had a decent fourth quarter, but way too little, too late. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
also you had, they got stuffed at the goal line. They went for it on 4th and goal. They got stuffed. I mean, and there was one. He had an easy first down, and it kind of like sidearmed the pass, and the receiver ended up dropping it. That was a big play in the game. So I mean, listen, Texas is still very good. I mean, those are the two of the best teams in the country. So
they will.
But it's one game. It's one game. Everybody, come on.
Yeah, the media is already going off on the train about, well, is Texas' season over? It's like it's the first week of the season.
You think that's bad? Wait till we get to the first week of the NFL. We get to tomorrow, and then what happens on Friday, and then Sunday. I mean, there's going to be so many overreactions.
Yeah, so just wait till the Cowboys go into Philadelphia, upset the Eagles, and then everybody's like, "Wow, are the Eagles in trouble?"
Yeah.
It's like,
can't wait for that. Yeah, but all right. So AFC East. Sorry, we this is what happens. Everybody
really went off the rails.
I know I said the co-host gets us back on the rails. Well, we're back off the rails now.
All right.
So just say the Bills and let's move on.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm in lockstep with you. It's the Bills. What's funny is that this is another year where the East divisions are the easiest locks to me. I mean, it's just I can't see anybody else winning this division. I mean, yeah, great. The Dolphins got Minkah Fitzpatrick back. Okay, cool, great, good for them. The Patriots went out in the offseason, spent a lot of money, got a lot of money. Yeah, they got a lot of good acquisitions. Great. Whatever. There's this guy named Josh Allen. You heard about him? But now the real question is,
he's now married. Don't forget.
It's year after year after year. When will the Bills actually get beyond the Chiefs and get to a Super Bowl? Like, is it ever going to happen? I don't know. I mean, these two play each other in November. We're going to have a real good...
Well, they own them in the regular season. They just can't beat them in the postseason.
Exactly. That's the difference. I mean, the Bills just can't do it for some reason right now. I mean, and, say what you want. If you put the chip in the ball, maybe Josh Allen did get the first down last year, whatever. It didn't matter in the end. Whatever. The Chiefs won the game. But, this team will win the division again. Let's just get to that point because it's just there's no battle. Bills are minus 280 right now at FanDuel Sportsbook to win the division. I mean, if you're putting your money anywhere else, you're a fool. Sorry. Bills are winning the East. It's pretty clear.
All right. Now let's move on to the AFC South. Okay. I mean, I don't know if we're going to be different here. Could be the same. Why don't you start?
Mike. Oh, put me in the spotlight.
Well, I'm trying to do. I start, then you start, then I start.
Okay. I see what your method is here. I'm gonna go back to the well in the AFC South with the Houston Texans.
All right, we're not gonna be different.
Okay, there you go. That gets.
I was thinking, is he gonna take the Jags, Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes?
Well, I was thinking about the Jaguars. I was thinking about it. But I don't know. I can't see Jacksonville taking down this team. I mean, I think C.J. Stroud is in for another great season. I mean, he was awesome. He was awesome in Houston last year, and I mean, he's definitely one of those guys that you know uh, you keep your eye on, and you're really curious to see what his arc is going to be in this league. I mean, I think D'Amico Ryan's. It's nice that the Texans have finally found a coach, that stays there longer than a year, because D'Amico Ryan's is that guy. I mean, and he's another one who's built a strong culture there, and they did get their win last season against the Chargers in the wild card. So I mean, um, are the Texans going to be up there at the end? No, I mean, of course not. Like as you'll see as we progress through these AFC picks, there's the Bills, the Ravens, and the Chiefs, who are always the three that you pencil in somewhere. I mean, and they're in that elite tier in terms of the AFC. And then everybody else kind of just straggles behind. So, like, the Texans will probably end up being the fourth division winner again this year. But, I mean, I don't know. I can't see the Jaguars having enough to win this division, although they're a very interesting team to watch with Travis Hunter. And that's why I think the Jaguars are going to be my final wild card team.
Wow. Okay.
I think that team is intriguing. They have great upside, like I said, between Ryan Thomas, Travis Hunter, Travis Etienne behind Trevor Lawrence. It's a good offense. It's a good
It is a good
offense.
offense. And Liam Cohen there,
Yep. Yeah,
did
I
very
mean
well in
Liam
Tampa.
Cohen. Yeah, we don't know much about Liam Cohen in a head coaching role yet. Of course not. But I think it's good that he's got a chance. His Duval, it's going to be scary for the rest of the year to think about. But yeah, it's a new era in Jacksonville, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I think my heart's going to lie with the Texans to win this division. It's going to be a closer battle than we think. And yeah, obviously, the Titans have Cam Ward, and there's a bit more hype, at least in Tennessee, to see what happens. But they're just probably going to go from 4 wins to 6 wins this year. That's about it for them. Oh yeah, and then you also mentioned about Daniel Dimes Jones. I don't know. I don't think the Colts are going to be that spectacular either.
They did win 8 games last year.
They did. You can't fault them there, but I don't know. I mean, I hope for Daniel Jones' sake, as a Giants fan, I hope for his sake that he actually finds success, because I'd like to believe that it was just the system that he wasn't good in, and the New York market. And, we've seen guys like Devin Williams who can't perform in big markets like that right now. But, I don't know. Like, I just hope for his sake that he finds something in Indianapolis and can actually build off it for his career. But that's water under the bridge now. He's not a New York Giant anymore. But, yeah, Texans win the AFC South.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to take the Texans. They got the best defense in the division. I think that's the biggest part. I do worry a little bit about the offense because, between, Tank Dell being out for the year, Stephon Diggs not coming back. He also got hurt. I mean, they got ravaged by injuries last year. I mean, the offensive line wasn't very good. Nico Collins was hurt. Diggs was hurt. Tank Dell has that horrific injury against the Chiefs. And, yeah, he's not going to play this year. So they drafted a couple of Iowa State Cyclones. They did that. They traded for Christian Kirk. There's going to be no Joe Mixon. I don't know what the deal is with this foot injury, but the GM was talking about him not really being optimistic about him playing this year or something like that. So we could see Nick Chubb stepping in and being the lead back because now Chubb is over there. I thought Stroud took a little bit of a step back last year as opposed to his promising rookie season. And they also traded Laramie Tunsil to the Commanders, which, the offensive line was a weakness last year. Now you just made it even worse by trading your best offensive lineman. So I'm curious to see how that goes. But having said that, I still think this is the best team. I think the Jags, they're going to be better. And they're not that far removed from controlling this division and winning it. But I just think the defense is still a major question mark. Trevor Lawrence has to go out there and prove it. I mean, he's got now Travis Hunter in there with Brian Thomas Jr., who had a fantastic rookie season. So we'll see how that goes. The offensive line is also an issue with the Jaguars. I don't see the Colts really competing. even though they won 8 games last year. Although, I do like the roster. I do like some of the moves they made this offseason. I like the trio of wide receivers they have. They got Jonathan Taylor. Um, I think they'll be like you said. But yeah, I don't expect them to really do anything big this year. And then the Titans, you got a rookie quarterback in Cam Ward, which he was arguably the best quarterback in this draft. That's why he went number 1 overall. Quarterback position was a huge question mark last year for the Titans between Will Levis and Mason Rudolph. So we'll see what Cam Ward has, but they're ways away from competing for anything. So yeah, I got the Texans winning the division once again.
Yeah, so I guess now I'm gonna turn it back to you, Kenny.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say.
Now, so where do you want? Do you want to go AFC West or AFC
We'll
North?
save the AFC West for last. We'll save the AFC West for last.
Good idea. So now it's your turn to go to the AFC North because I have a feeling we're going to be different here.
Okay.
Feeling.
You're taking the Browns. I like it. Anyways.
Okay, sure.
So I'm gonna go with. I mean, this is pretty easy for me actually. I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens. This is clearly the best team in the division. Yeah, I know where you're going. This is clearly the best team in the division. Lamar Jackson was an All-Pro last year. Didn't win the MVP, but that's okay. He got the MVP the year before. Derrick Henry, that was such a home run signing. That was one of the best signings. I mean, if it wasn't for Saquon, Derrick Henry probably would have been the top signing last year. But Derrick Henry, that was such a great fit for him. And I think they just extended him this offseason. I think he's going to have another big year. I mean, this is the right place for him. He's a Raven. He's going to continue to run all over people at the age 31, continuing to defy the odds. They got a pair of good tight ends. Mark Andrews is getting up there in age as well, but he's still productive. Isaiah Likely, actually, I think he's hurt right now, but he's a weapon. You got Zay Flowers, who's pretty good. Rashad Bateman, who they extended, he had a pretty good year last year. They brought in DeAndre Hopkins, which not the same DeAndre Hopkins from years ago, but he'll be a red zone threat, which is something the Ravens need, in terms of their pass catchers. But when you got Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry coming out of the backfield, I mean, you're like, who are we going to stop? It was a problem last year. And the defense was interesting last year because they were so good against the run. They were the top team at stopping the run, but they were horrible against the pass. But that got better as the year went along. And, through the draft, and they added Jair Alexander in the offseason, which I think was a good move. I think the defense is going to be one solid unit. So I just think this team is primed for a big season once again. No Justin Tucker for reasons. They'll be going into the season with a new kicker. What's his name? Tyler Loop, I think his name is, right? If I'm not, yeah. So new kicker that they drafted. But yeah, this team is loaded top to bottom. I got them winning the division once again.
Yeah, well, we're in lockstep. Okay,
nothing... never mind. So you were just toying with me. All right.
That's right. That's exactly how we play it here.
Okay.
No, the Ravens are the best. They're the best team in this division, top to bottom, like you said. Great offense. Love the defense. Lamar Jackson is obviously a top quarterback as well. I mean, there's not a lot of flaws on this team. It's the same boat as the Buffalo Bills. When will they prove that they can win it all? Because the Ravens have the talent to win it all. They really do. But once again, there's those pesky Kansas City Chiefs that just keep finding a way every year. And, maybe I don't know. I mean, I don't know about the Chiefs. We'll get into it, but, there was some big engagement that happened. Maybe, maybe there's some magic working around the Chiefs again this year. But
yeah,
we're not on the West yet. I think the Bengals are an interesting prospect this year. I mean, look, they won, 5 in a row to end the season last year? Maybe they win 5 in a row to get a 10-game winning streak across 2 seasons. Now, I'm just kidding. But, look, obviously having Trey Hendrickson back, at least on the deal that he's on right now, is going to be very helpful to that Bengals defense. because that was the biggest question of the entire offseason defensively. I mean, we heard Trey Hendrickson every day since July, basically like, will he resign? Will he resign? What's going on?
And they were having issues signing their first round draft choice.
Oh yeah,
Stewart.
Yep, and that's a whole mess of a situation as well right now.
But I think that's all that got all squared away though.
It did now. It did now. I mean, look, the Cleveland Browns are so desperate that they're still starting a 40-year-old Joe Flacco.
Hell, yeah.
And the Pittsburgh Steelers are starting a 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers.
That's right.
I mean, you can take those two teams out of contention. I don't see. I mean, the Steelers have the best upside, I think.
Don't forget, Flacco led them to the playoffs, won comeback player of the year a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I mean, you're going to lose twice to the Ravens and Bengals. There's 4 losses already.
It's not true.
I mean, I don't know.
It's not necessarily true.
Bengals
Bengals have a problem playing in Cleveland. They won there last year, but in prior years they hadn't won in Cleveland with Burrow.
It's like the Yankees have old timers day. Like in baseball, it's like this is like the old timers year in the AFC North. So at least we're gonna see Flacco versus Rodgers 2 more times.
I know, and those two might not. Well, injured. Flacco especially, Rodgers because if he gets hurt, but yeah, they might not finish the year.
Well, I was just gonna say, knock on wood, they finished the season.
Well, Flacco would be just because like if they want to go to Dylan Gabriel, if they want to go to Shedeur Sanders, whatever.
Correct.
Yeah,
that's the difference. Cleveland's got options, and it's very interesting that they're not going with Gabriel or Shedeur, but whatever.
Because they want to win games. They want to win games. They think Flacco gives them the best chance.
Look, and I will say, like, I mean, I'm. It's gonna be a little sad. Because this is Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers. That's about it from our childhood.
No, don't forget Stafford.
Who else is left?
Don't forget
Stafford.
Stafford.
Okay, that's true. Stafford can count too.
And
that's
Russ.
Fine. But I don't know about Russ as much. I feel like Stafford's one of like the last like really like.
Yeah,
OGs.
I would group Russ in there because I mean that was middle school. His rookie season. I remember watching those playoff games against Washington, and then the Falcons. They came back, and then they ended up losing at the end. But yeah, I would throw Russ in there.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, but I don't know. Like, you're gonna find out in a little while. But as if I haven't given it away already, talking about the Ravens. But I mean. Let's just say my Super Bowl pick is from this division. Let's just
Browns.
say that.
Love it. All right. Anyways. All right. Now we have reached the final division. AFC West, Mr. Upson, take it away. Who you got?
Well, let's be real, okay? This division's been run by one team for a long time. And is it going to change this year? I can't see it. I do think the Los Angeles Chargers are a team that's going to be on the heels of this team this year. And do I think the Chiefs will take a mini step back? Probably. But I'm still picking them to win this division. I'm not going to pick against the Chiefs until they lose this division again. I mean, I've been burned way too many times. And it's funny because when I finally warm up to picking the Chiefs in the Super Bowl last year, that did not happen. Yeah. Although I did pick them against the 49ers. That's the one time I actually think I've been right on the Chiefs because I picked the Eagles to beat them in 57. And then I picked the 49ers to beat them in 54. That didn't happen either. So
I was always picking the Chiefs. Win, lose, I was always picking them. So I've been right and wrong.
True. But yeah, look, the Chiefs have won this division, what is it, 9 years in a row now? Right? 9 years, I think it is.
I think so.
It's been a lot. It's been a lot of years.
And they've
So
been
I
to an
mean,
AFC Championship game every single year.
right. So is there any reason to go against this trend? I mean, I'll tell you one thing. If you're in the bandwagon of, the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl with the whole Taylor Swift Travis Kelce engagement, I mean, this is the best value, quote value. Right as I say that, the Chiefs Super Bowl odds went down. It was just right as I said that. The Chiefs were plus 850 to win the Super Bowl, and now it's
Right.
plus 800. So I have moved the betting lines, folks. I've seen enough. They're listening in. They're hearing our conversation. But wow, that was really funny. I've never seen that happen before. But
What are you looking on?
FanDuel.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the Chiefs are 8-1, folks.
Right.
Like, if you're in that camp and you think the Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl, this is the best. This is the best bang for your buck that you've probably gotten in years, because the Chiefs have always been 6-1, 650, 7-1. They've been in that range. Now they're 800 because the Ravens, Eagles, and Bills are all ahead of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to say go out there and smash the Chiefs if you think that they're going to win or not. But I'm telling you, you should put some investment down on it. Just thought. But anyway, that was hysterical that the betting line moved right as I said that. So they're piped in. They're listening to us. But yeah, I just drafted Patrick Mahomes in one of my, work league fantasy drafts in the 5th round. And like I said, he's a fantastic quarterback. We know that. Of course we know that. And Travis Kelce, I don't know how much is going to be left in the tank for this guy. I mean, I'd like to hope that he has 1, maybe 2 more good years left in him.
Even that's.
But I have a feeling he's getting closer to thinking about retirement. He's getting closer because we saw it with Gronk too. It's at the tight end position, like.
I think Gronk could have kept playing. It's just, I mean, how many injuries did he get? Back, knee. I mean, it's just concussions. I mean, everything.
Now, I mean, obviously, the Chiefs won't have Rashee Rice for quite a while. I think it's at least 6 to 8 weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's the first 6 games he's suspended.
Obviously, a tough situation going on there with him. But we've seen it time and time again. Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes find ways to win. They find ways to win in close games, and they find ways to win with rosters that you don't really think could win all that many games, but they just find a way.
I know they were like 11-0 in 1-score games last year, something like that. It was ridiculous.
Right. Is that going to happen again this year? Probably not, but maybe. The Vikings were in the same boat 2 years ago, right, where they were like.
And then who beat? And then who beat them in the playoffs? Right? Who beat them in the playoffs?
The New York Giants.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Who could forget that? In a 1-score game, no less. But yeah, this, like I said, the Chiefs have. I don't know if they have the best defense in the division. I think the Denver Broncos have an interesting case for that. But yeah, like a strong defense, top 3 quarterback in the league, and an all-time head coach who is walking into the Hall of Fame today already, Andy Reid.
With a cheeseburger in hand.
Until this trend breaks, exactly, with a big bacon cheeseburger in hand. Until this trend breaks, I'm with the Chiefs. Seen enough.
Make a valid case, I mean, they just been in the AFC Championship game, been to 3 straight Super Bowls. They do it every year. When is it going to end? When is it going to end, you may ask?
Oh, no.
I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be taking the Denver Broncos to win.
Wow! Wow!
Taking the Denver Broncos.
Denver Broncos. What a pick.
Denver Broncos. They have the best defense in the division. They have the best secondary in the division. And again, a gamble. Bo Nix going into year 2. How is he going to be? He got better and better as the year went along. I loved the Evan Ingram signing. Cortland Sutton, he finally found his quarterback after years of searching for one. Him and Bo Nix have a very strong connection. Marvin Mims has really become a player for them last year. Troy Franklin, who caught that pass, the touchdown pass in the playoff game last year. That was that was when the Broncos got off to that fast start against the Bills. You're like, oh man, this is going to be a close game. And then the Bills blew them out. They drafted R.J. Harvey. They brought in J.K. Dobbins. Running game is going to be vastly improved from last year. I really like the makeup of this team. And you got Sean Payton leading the charge. You got to remember, I know that you could kind of throw the final game of the regular season out the window because the Chiefs were playing their backups. Broncos won like 34-0. But that first game, the Broncos should have won that game, but the Chiefs blocked the field goal. So they should have been 2-0 against the Chiefs last year. They did go 0-2 against the Chargers. That Thursday night game, I mean, they were in control of that game the whole time, and then the Chargers came back and won it at the end. Justin Herbert played really, really well. But I don't know. For me, I want to go against the masses, and this might be the bad time because with Travis Kelce getting engaged, all that. But to me, like, did the Chiefs get any better this offseason? They stayed the same, but that's still not a bad thing because they're the Chiefs. But I just think Travis Kelce, I think his best days are behind him. I gave him one more chance last year, but even in the Super Bowl, he just looked so slow and just I think he's not an elite tight end anymore. I mean he definitely could still be a guy that helps in the running game with blocking, and he'll make plays here and there, but the consistency is not there anymore with Kelce. Rashee Rice being suspended really hurts them. I know they brought back Hollywood Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster, and they brought back Kareem Hunt, and Isaiah Pacheco is hopefully healthy this year. And Xavier Worthy, despite them getting blown out in the Super Bowl, and I know it was in garbage time, he had made some really good plays in that game against the Eagles. And they still got Chris Jones anchoring the defense. They still got some good players on that side of the ball. You got Big Red, Andy Reid. But I just, I think I'm going to say this is the year that it ends, okay? Not like ends completely. Just, they went to the Super Bowl 3 years in a row, okay? All right? It's a fourth time. I mean, I know the NFL would love it if they got back and won it with everything, with, again, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce getting engaged and all that, but I think it's the Broncos' time. I think it's a different team. I think this is a different time. It's time for somebody else to step up and surpass the Chiefs. And I'll go as far as to say this, too. Not only are they not going to win the division, they won't make it to the championship game. This is the first year they don't make it to the championship game. Be two different teams.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you read my mind, Kenny?
No. Do you thinking the same thing? They're not going to the championship game?
Yeah.
All right.
The Chiefs are good enough to win their division, but they're not going to the AFC Championship.
Okay. And you know what? We're going to be sitting here in January.
And we'll be talking about, after a 16-1 season, what a great team they had.
Patrick Mahomes is going to win MVP.
I picked the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Maybe we'll be a year too early or something. But yeah, I'm going with the Broncos to win the division.
It's bold. But again, I don't mind. I'm picking a lot of favorites here. As you can see the theme.
I'm trying to deviate from that. I'm trying to be a little different.
I guess I will start with the bombshell here with our wild card predictions. What if I told you I don't have the Denver Broncos in the postseason?
I don't think it's that crazy.
Yeah, I'm more on the Chargers bandwagon. So they're taking up one of my AFC West wildcard spots. And then as I alluded to earlier, it should be an interesting battle in the AFC North, but I think the Cincinnati Bengals will be the team out of the AFC North that gets the second bid to the postseason. And then last but not least, the Jacksonville Jaguars steal a wild card spot.
I like it.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm very intrigued by all three of those teams this season. I mean, it's tough to leave the Broncos off this list because, as you allude to, they do have the best defense in the AFC Like it's true.
Mm.
But I mean, like you can't overlook these three other teams because these are three teams that certainly have high ceilings, in my opinion, this year in the AFC. And I mean, the Bengals to me, like, I really wouldn't be surprised if they do win the AFC North. Like, they're the team that it's just a bit of unknown right now. Like, do we know? Like, are they going to be better defensively? Because their defense was an area that was really
Well, I could
struggling.
tell you when you watch that preseason game against the Commanders. I only know it's preseason, but the Commanders made it look really easy. So it seems like nothing's really changed.
Yeah, so that's not a good sign. But they should still be good enough to get a wild card. Like I said, the Chargers. Hey, welcome back, Keenan Allen.
That's right.
Welcome back.
Yep.
I mean, like another reunion. You got Adam Thielen back in Minnesota, Keenan Allen back in
Amari
LA.
Cooper.
Yeah, like these are some reunions that you probably didn't expect to see in 2025, but yet here we are. So I think the Chargers ceiling is also very high. And then, I mean, the Jaguars, like I said, I think the Jaguars can definitely make a splash this year with the offense that they have. And we already talked about it, Liam Cohen there, first year as a head coach. It's just too interesting of a storyline, and I almost want to see the Jaguars. I mean, because the last time they were in the postseason, they had a 27-3 comeback.
They did.
Yeah, and there's that iconic video out there of the guy sleeping on his couch, under a blanket, and then he wakes up. His friends wake him up to see the final score, and then he realizes he hit his bet, and he's like going freaking nuts. I mean, like that was a crazy game. That's one of the craziest postseason games we've had in recent memory. But yeah, something about these AFC South teams, making noise in the postseason, and especially in the wild card. It's like their calling card. Calling card, wild card. And
all right, let's end the podcast now.
Those are my 7: Bills, Ravens, Texans, Chiefs, winner divisions, Bengals, Chargers, Jaguars. No Broncos in the playoffs.
All right. So, I will agree with you on the Chargers. Chiefs will be the top wildcard team, despite not winning the division. Chargers will be my second wildcard team. Another year with Jim Harbaugh. I think the Rashawn Slater injury, that could definitely hurt them. That's the torn patella tendon. That's a huge loss on that offensive line, but they're going to be good at running the football. Different running back room than last year when you had the Gus Bus and J.K. Dobbins. Now you have Omarion Hampton and Najee Harris, who's dealing with that eye issue. I don't know what's going on there, but you got those two guys there. So they're going to run the football effectively. And Ladd McConkey had a very good rookie season. They had Mike Williams come back, and then he retired. And then they brought back Keenan Allen, which I think is going to work out. Keenan Allen, I think, could still play. And him and Herbert still have that strong rapport. So looking forward to that. And the Chargers defense a lot better last year than the year before, and that has a lot to do with Harbaugh being there. So now for my final wild card team, it is not going to be the Cincinnati Bengals. It is not going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars. The black and gold, the Pittsburgh Steelers, get in again.
Wow.
Pittsburgh Steelers get in again, 10-7. I'm in the minority for this. I am aware of that. And you could call me out for there being some bias, and that's fine. But the Steelers find a way to make the playoffs every single year, for the most part. And Mike Tomlin has not had a losing season since he became the head coach long ago for this team. This is an older team. They bring in Jalen Ramsey. They bring in big play Slay. And, of course, they bring in Aaron Rodgers. They trade for DK Metcalf. They paid TJ Watt. They gave him his money. Well-deserved. I think this team's going to find a way, mess around. They win 9-10 games. They get to the playoffs. And Wouldn't shock me, because it's been a long time. They win their first playoff game since 2016. Because it's been a very long time. All right? Might be a bit of a stretch. Might be a huge stretch. But it's got to happen at some point, right? They got to win a playoff game. I'm not saying they're going to go to the Super Bowl. No. But could they win a playoff game? Could they win a playoff game? It's possible. I think Rodgers is in a better situation because, look, the Jets may have had more talent on defense a couple years ago, and you had Garrett Wilson. They traded for Devontae Adams, Breece Hall, that. But here's the thing: the Jets were a poorly coached team. All right, and you could put the blame on Rodgers. I get it. Rodgers didn't play well at times last year, but part of that was because he got hurt in the middle of the year because he's constantly taking hits. He's a 40-year-old quarterback. He's not the same. His body's not the same as it was 10 years ago. All right? But now you got a team that's actually being coached, that's disciplined. And I think Rodgers is going to have a decent year. Look, you look at the numbers. I know, you don't want to take the numbers and not take into account anything else, taking context. But Rodgers had 28 touchdowns to 6 picks or 4 picks last year. It's pretty good numbers. I think he could do that again this year. And you got Metcalf, you got Pat Freiermuth. They traded for Jonnu Smith. They're expecting big things out of Roman Wilson. They didn't get anything out of him last year. Calvin Austin made plays for them last year. You got Jaylen Warren, who you paid. Caleb Johnson, who they drafted. Kenneth Gainwell, they brought in. I mean, you shouldn't say there's no weapons on this team. And I'm curious to see how the relationship between Arthur Smith and Rodgers plays out. But the other thing too is the Steelers also win games off of their defense because their defense gets the ball. They take the ball away. They turn it into scores. They're a good scoring defense. And they also won a game last year when Chris Boswell kicked 6 field goals, everybody. He can also win games for you. So I think all of that combined, this is the swan song for Aaron Rodgers. Possibly. Cam Hayward, TJ Watt, all these guys, I think they find a way to get to the playoffs. And maybe this is it for Rodgers, but I think he's going to go out much better than last year. Now, last year he threw his 500th touchdown pass in the final game. He had 4 touchdowns. But, the team finished 5-12. It's going to be different this time. Pittsburgh Steelers are getting in. And you know why I don't have the Bengals in? I just think that defense is still going to be a massive issue. I just think the Bengals are going to have to put up 30, 40 points a game. And their opponents are going to be doing that to them. And I think that's just going to be too much. It's tough for me to leave them out because that's going to be 3 straight years they don't make the playoffs with Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins. And on top of that, Trey Hendrickson's been holding out this whole time. So now he's coming back. But is he going to be in shape? It's going to take some time for him to really get into shape. They're going to need him. So, I got the Bengals missing the playoffs again because that defense is still going to be a problem. And I think the Steelers are going to get in. So, to run through it, Bills win the East. The Texans win the South. The Ravens win the North. Broncos win the West. And then I got all three, the 3 teams from last year in the AFC West making the playoffs again, except the Chiefs are a wild card team, Chargers are a wild card team, and then I got the Pittsburgh Steelers making it as well.
Wow. I don't think the Steelers is totally outlandish. I think this is a good, bold prediction. Like I said, with the addition of Jalen Ramsey defensively, with the addition of DK Metcalf offensively, Aaron Rodgers back at the helm of an NFL team, why not? Who says the Steelers can't? Mike Tomlin and the Steelers always find a way to go 9-8, so they should be at least that, right? Right?
Yeah.
That's supposedly.
And they open the season against the New York Jets.
Yeah. How poetic is that?
Yeah.
How poetic is that?
Yeah.
Jets fans probably not too happy about it, but is what it is. I like it. I do like it. You've gone bold on a few, Kenny, so this is really, really interesting to see how it plays out this season.
Yeah, we're
Uh,
going against the grain. Probably won't work out, but we'll see.